to the popular guys who people want to see cast today, but they were already in game, literally mid game. Otherwise, I would have tried to get into their matches. I did check. I went through the effort of checking their teams and finding their opponents and seeing if they were mid game, and they were. So unfortunately, we can't jump into either of their matches. But what we can jump into is a PvP between PRIMELOT and Adonminus. So let's go into this, guys. Just let me double check once again that overlay is off, and it is. So let's start this up. In the top right corner of the map, we're going to have our pink Protoss player from Romandy Gaming. It is going to be PRIMELOT. And to the bottom left corner of the map, here in Moonlight Madness, we're going to have our blue Protoss player from Cascade. It's Adonminus. So we're going to be continuing here in a few moments' time. And just waiting to see what's going to be happening at the start of this PvP. So far, no real craziness. You know, we're not seeing any proxy gates, we're not seeing any cannon rushes or anything, which we have seen a lot of in the previous PvPs we've cast that come to mind recently. Although I guess a lot of them were from the were from the NA qualifier, and we saw some really crazy things in the American qualifiers. So sometimes it's just best not to actually talk about that. And yeah, cool. So Adonminus just chilling out on his watchtower right now as we have another probe moving across the map from PRIMELOT. And just gonna see what's up, see what's happening. And Adonminus actually going to place a pylon right by these back rocks, or at least it looks like he is. So something a little bit sneaky potentially coming up from him in the near future. PRIMELOT actually only on 1 gas, and with so much Chrono Boost saved up, I guess this is actually immediately worth talking about. With so much Chrono Boost saved up, it really looks as though he might just try and 4-gate here. There's another gate coming down already, and again, it's still only 1 gas, which really can only mean a fast expand or a 4-gate. So this is a little bit ridiculous already, right at the start of this game, as we wait to get into this. And there's a 3rd gate coming down as well. And Cybercore being Chrono boosted here. And so just going to hide in the natural. Probe coming out as well, and you'll be able to pop this pylon down. So this is a straight up 4-gate from PRIMELOT, but Optimus putting down a Stargate. I mean, it's proxied though, so he's not really going to have anything to kind of help him defend, and he's also not made a mothership core yet. So Adonminus is actually in a really bad position, because he's going to have absolutely nothing to protect him from this 4-gate. He hasn't scouted. He's proxying. He has no mothership core. This is almost game over already at this point. Basically, it's actually only going to be 3 gateways for now, but PRIMELOT definitely has the money to kind of invest in a 4th gateway if you'd like to. I guess he's just waiting for warpins though. Either way, this is very aggressive. It's going to hit very quickly, and I mean, you can see he's cut probes at like 16, 17 to be able to make this happen. And again, Adonminus now has his own 2 extra gateways on the way, but without a mothership core, how does he ever survive against this? I just really don't think he does. There's them warp gates coming in right now, and there's the warp-ins for extra stalkers, and immediately here this is going to be worrying. Probe will come to the high ground too, put a pylon on the high ground and help with those warp-ins, and now Adonminus is going to be like, well crap, I've got absolutely nothing to deal with this. These stalkers are going to move down that ramp. You know, if 500 health is a lot of health to take away at. In fact, just going after probes is probably the better decision. There's another stalker pops out. He's going to be able to grab that very quickly. I think Adonminus. There's just no way you can micro your way out of this. An Oracle will move in towards the main base mineral line, so you can maybe, if you can shut down enough of this economy, he has an opportunity. Oh no, the warpins just came in on the other side of the map, so there's an opportunity here for maybe Adonminus to make this happen, but I think there's just going to be a little bit too much. That being said, he can fight with probes, of course, as PRIMELOT's losing a lot of his money, so he's got no more warpins. He's only got 1 worker left on the other side of the map, and this is it. I mean, Adonminus just has to hold on with the units he's got now, with these workers and everything. He's working his way against these zealots. Another zealot gets warped in. That'll be the last warp in here from PRIMELOT. Adonminus is going to try and move away. He does have money for a zealot, and I guess if he would like to, he can bring the Oracle back home, because, I mean, everything's going to help. Any little bit of DPS he can get will help out right now, as he's really, oh my god, is he just, I guess high ground advantage might help, but is it going to be enough? Again, he's got a warping of 1 more Stalker. Okay, so he's got 1 more Stalker as well back over here, and that high ground, again, he's kind of just hoping for anything and everything he can get right now. His probe's going to help out a little bit, but the Stalkers are falling. The Zealot is going to corner this in over here, and this Oracle will help out, but there's just too many Stalkers for PRIMELOT, and a very close game. Both players end up on 1 worker left. Adonminus, what does he have? Another Stalker over here still? But I mean, against 5 Stalkers of his opponent, how is this ever going to work out? I just really don't think it does, and That's going to be GG. PrimeLot takes game number 1 in this best of 3. So congrats to PrimeLot. We're going to be jumping into game 2 here in a couple moments' time. So stay tuned for that one. We'll be jumping into this in a few moments. We'll be jumping into game 2 in a few moments' time. Just waiting for this to get hosted up. See who's going to host it for us. And it looks as though PrimeLot will be hosting. Send him a dot so you can invite us. And we'll get back into this in a few moments, guys. Again, how's everyone doing? How you all feeling today? Shout out to all of you guys hitting the follow button. There's actually already been an insane amount of you hitting follow. So hearts out to you guys. Much appreciated. As we just get ready to jump into game 2 of this best of 3. So how's everyone doing in the chat? Is Reddit still on strike? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I didn't really follow that drama too much. But it was huge. People were loving it. That's a bit of an interesting PvP. I mean, very aggressive from PrimeLot, and I mean, it was really the hard counter to what Adonminus was doing. You know, no mothership call for Adonminus. The Stargate was proxied, so I mean, he couldn't really even, like, you know, he couldn't even really, like, if it wasn't proxied, he might have had the Oracle on his side of the map, and that might have helped him out a little bit. It could have actually helped him out a bit. We're getting ready to jump into game 2 of this best of 3. We're just waiting for our players to start the game. Looks as though we're being joined by a couple of other casters, so going to be setting off into game 2 on Coda in a few moments' time, and I'd be very surprised if that if this second game follows the way the first game went. I'd be very surprised if it was in any way, shape, or form similar. So we'll be heading into this very soon, guys. How's everyone doing? How are you all feeling? What is up? Again, we'll continue to try and give you guys games throughout the day today. Follow your favourites through the bracket. Again, on my watch list right now, Cyril is someone we're watching out for to try and get into games of, and Naniwa as well, and Moro. I think they're the 3 main players that people are wanting to see today. So we'll try our best. We'll do what we can. Of course, no promises, because we can only do so much to jump into games when they're ready. Let's have a look at the qualifier on... There we go, Europe qualifier. Let's have a look at the qualifier on Wikipedia. A few players making it to the round of 64 already. We're just waiting for our players to ready up, and then we'll get into this game, guys. Let's very quickly, I'm just going to let's have a quick peek at the bracket, actually. So this is the Wikipedia bracket. It's a little bit easier to look through. So let's just look at the players who've made it to the round of 64 already. Comp, Hope, Chubbs, Nurcho, Ilias as well. Happy, Strange, Tefl, and Beastie Cutie. In this part of the bracket, down here we have Targa, Fuser, Cruelty, Dacia, at least 1 UK player. Wow, the hype. Zuka Liang as well. Shadown, Hero Marine, Cass, Johnny Rico, and Insane also in the round of 64. So congrats to those guys already moving through. And as you can see, we are beginning to move into our game. So we're going to jump into this in a few moments' time and get into game 2 of this best of 3. Can Adonminus pull this back against PrimeLot? We are about to find out. Did he just let his workers die to the Oracle? He did, but it's a bit of a weird position because he just warped in on the other side of the map when that Oracle came in. So he had literally no way to defend. He could have ran it away, but I really think that he would have still just lost all the workers. It probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. Oh my god, well, look at what's happening straight away in this game, guys. Let's introduce our players. In the top left of the corner, sending a probe across the map already from Romandy Gaming is going to be PrimeLot, the pink Protoss player, up a game right now in this best of 3. In the bottom right, from Cascade, the blue Protoss player, it's going to be Adonminus. So we're going to be continuing in this here in the next few moments, and waiting to see how this progresses for this probe on this side of the map. And we'll see, is this going to be proxy 2 gate? Could be a single proxy gate, and you know, that would work out as going into 2 zealots, get a gas back at home, cyber core, work your way into that cyber core as well. And I think I just said that, work your way up towards that stalker and really put on a lot of pressure at the start of the game. Let's see some SCTI hearts in the chat for Demoniac Milk's 3-month resub. Thank you very much, bro. Much appreciated. Hearts out to you, buddy. As for now, this looks to just be 1 gateway here, and probes being made back at home for PrimeLot. So it's just going to be the single gate on the proxy right now. As this Nexus is going to be making workers here for Adonminus. And is he going to scout his natural? Yes, he is. So he's going to spot this very quickly. And he's immediately going to realize what he needs to do here. So he's going to realize the pressure he's under, and he's going to realize that he might be in a little spot above it here, but it's good to be able to see this before the zealots come to your base. It means he's going to be able to get his own zealot out right now. He's going to be able to kind of edit his gas mining to reflect what he really needs, and decide, what does he want to spend his chrono boost on? Mothership Core or the Stalker? We'll see here in a few moments' time. As we see his Cybercore on the way here, and in fact no Cybercore just yet from our Pink Cross players, so not rushing into this Cybercore at all, which is very interesting because the Cybercore is so important to this build, because you want to get that Stalker up as soon as you can. PRIMELOT, a little bit supply blocked here, which does delay the second zealot. In fact, this has been very poorly executed so far, I feel, from PRIMELOT. As this zealot comes out for Adonminus, he's going to get some free swipes, and he's going to start taking advantage, but not if this probe continues to work against the zealot of his opponent. And it looks as though the zealot's going to go down. It's going to start doing a loop-de-loop right now, but even still, a Mothership Core now on the way for Adonminus as well. I feel like PRIMELOT really didn't execute this very well at all, as one worker does go down. The zealot's still being chased by a probe. Adonminus is looking for the kill! And that probe zaps that zealot back to Aya. As Mothership Core about to pop out, and I mean, again, it really feels as though this Cybercore back at home for PRIMELOT was so late. And he's just going to go straight into a Stargate behind this. No, he's going to start Warp Gate, so he decides against the Stargate here, which is interesting. So going to change his mind on what he wants to do with that. Just going to chrono boost out his own Mothership Core. So, I mean, overall here, the players kind of actually fairly even. PRIMELOT actually a couple of workers ahead. Of course, the real issue for PRIMELOT is that he's going to lose this gateway. And losing this gateway is going to delay his unit production for a while. It's going to mean he actually has no real unit production for some time here. And with that, Adonminus is going to move across the map and see what he can get up to. His Mothership Core was a bit earlier, so he's got a time warp available to him. At least he will have by the time he gets across there. PRIMELOT's supply blocked and building 2 gateways right now, but he doesn't have any units against 2 Zealots, 2 Stalkers. No Mothership Core with overcharge ready either. And again, this looks pretty good for Optimus at this point in the game. He moves across the map with that second Stalker and looking to put on the pressure very early here. Chrono boosting out his Warp Gate, and I wonder if he just drops 2 more gateways and gets very aggressive from this point on. Is he bringing a probe across the map? Not just yet. As here he goes, Stalker into the main base. He's got a fair while before that overcharge becomes available. And he would like to force that out as soon as possible. Stargate on the way for PRIMELOT, who's of course going into 2 gateways of his own behind this as well. So going into the Stargate, here comes the Stalker, going to try work away against that Mothership Core. The Zealot's in a little bit of trouble. That Mothership Core is so important to keep alive. He will get full overcharge down here. These units are so heavily committed from Optimus. He might just stick around and just try and get as many worker kills as possible. At this point in time, he's going to get rid of that Zealot, and he's actually going to recall out of there with a lot of these units. So that was quite nice. He kills some workers, doesn't lose anything, forces an overcharge. Now there's a nice little play by Adonminus, who does just back at home drop the Twilight Council and then 2 more gateways. He's going to go straight into Blink. His units now back at home means he's going to be nice and safe against the incoming aggression from the Stargate of PRIMELOT. And this gets into a very good position. This puts Adonminus really in a great position. 5 workers ahead as well. Again, all I think he really needs to do at this sort of point in time is probably build up his Stalker count, and he's going to be at such a big advantage by the time he moves across here with Blink. He should be able to kind of, he should be able to just fend this off. Now, a Stalker coming across here from PRIMELOT needs to be a little bit careful because he is outnumbered. He needs to be careful how far he commits into this base. He won't commit far, just pokes them Stalkers at the front and then turns around. As another Stalker gets walked in here for Adonminus. Did that Stalker scout what was going on there? No, he doesn't see anything, so no further information. Oracle on its way across here, as this Stalker will be turned away. This gateway will be killed off. And a probe coming across. Is he going to put a pylon up? Is he going to try and be aggressive off of this Stargate play? I really don't feel as though it's going to work well for him at all if that happens. And he's going to try and target down that sentry. He will get the sentry, but takes a lot of damage in doing so. And I mean, just killing the sentry, was it really worthwhile? Would 4 or so probes have been a little bit better for him, perhaps? Even up that worker count a little bit. I mean, it's only 3 worker difference, but in PvP over time, that will add up a little bit. A Void way to follow this up, so again, I mean, he's recognizing the fact that he might be in a little spot of bother here when this Blink comes in, when his opponent moves across the map with this. And there is a probe coming across right now to start placing the pylons for Adonminus to go for this aggression. All he has to really do is leave a couple of Stalkers back at home to deal with this Oracle. And I mean, Blink's about to finish up as well, so this Oracle really going to be having a hard time doing anything at all, really. I guess he's got a phone overcharge, so he doesn't need Stalkers here just yet, which is even better for Adonminus, because it means he can focus all his warpins at the front and really just look to break his opponent in the near future. 24 army supply to 13, and of course, a lot of that supply is tied up in this Oracle for PrimeLot, so really it's kind of like 24 or 30 against 14 right now. It's double the supply of Adonminus, basically, as he gets ready to move in towards this main base. Look to see what he can do. Of course, Blink is ready. There's a perfect force field to begin with. No high ground vision for Adonminus, so he can't get up here just yet. And it buys PrimeLot a little bit more time. Phone overcharge will be available, but is that really going to be enough against this many Stalkers? Blink's up here, so blinking aggressively and forces that phone overcharge. And the thing is, though, can you really get enough units out to start, fighting against this? That phone overcharge has been popped here to deal with this Oracle, which is positioned in the bottom right. A couple more Stalkers being made. Adonminus can invest in the pylon on this high ground if you would like. As he moves forwards, he's going to go for the Void Ray, actually. Just blinks away. I mean, he's got shields, of course, so he can blink away, once he starts taking real damage and preserve these Stalkers. Again, he looks as though he's in a fantastic position, but what a mortal out as well. I mean, these units are nice to take down Stalkers quickly, but the problem is for PrimeLot, does he have enough to really, back up these units? Because if a very quick blink forwards, boom, Void Ray dead, boom, Immortal dead. Where do you go from there? I'm not too sure. A lot of Zealots, and the Zealots are good because the Zealots will act as kind of a buffer. So if you blink on top of this to take down the Immortal, the Zealots are going to deal a lot of damage here. So let's see what Adonminus decides to do. Does he blink on top of this, or does he just blink away defensively? Looks as though he'll blink defensively, trying to get that Void Ray. He does get it. PrimeLot not moving that back in time. 2 Immortals here. Still a lot of Stalkers from Adonminus as he's being fended off. And PrimeLot is going to make the hold, actually. Wow. His Immortal's going to get rid of that pylon pretty quickly here. These Stalkers continue to try and trade. There's just too many Zealots, though, and these Stalkers are not going to be able to make this happen. What a hold by PrimeLot. He really did just hold on for long enough, and I wonder if it would have been better for Adonminus to just fight under the Photon Overcharge. To start taking down these units before the Immortal count rose so high. Adonminus is still in an alright position here, although that being said, he needs to be careful. Oh, this is actually really nice. Force field on the ramp, going to split this army in half, and that sentry came in just in time. Now both of the Immortals are going to die, and with most of these Zealots here, there's actually not much to deal with these Stalkers. The Stalkers can just kite away for days, and immediately this actually becomes sour once again for PrimeLot. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Corona boosts out his next Immortal. Another couple of Stalkers being warped in. Going to join this army at the front, look to see if they can help out much here. This Immortal halfway done right now. I think at this point, though, Adonminus isn't really too bothered about pressing forwards. He's probably just going to look to expand, although that being said, he's got units back at home to deal with. A phone overcharge coming down here. Oracle going to come in, try and grab as many workers as it can, and it does grab a few more here. Keeping the worker count even throughout this game. This pylon being very effective for PrimeLot, just keeping warpins back at home, and again, slowing down the aggression of his opponent. There's another Immortal coming out. Adonminus not paying attention. It doesn't split that army in half this time around. He does have that potential, though, with that sentry, with that force field available. The Stalker's going to grab that probe. Oh, he actually misses the probe. He will continue to leave one Stalker to chase that, though, as he cleans out the pylon. As his units come down the ramp, and this is a big mistake, honestly, by Adonminus not to drop that force field sooner. Again, he could have split that in half. It was a gamble by PrimeLot, but he gets away with it. Adonminus looking to probably pop down his own Nexus here in the near future, although he's moving across the map with all his Stalkers again. And he's continuing to warp in aggressively, so I guess he's not done just yet. He wants to keep this going. He wants to just bust this down on one base. He doesn't want this to go to a 2-base game. He's going to start getting that Immortal. He gets pulled back here, and here's a second Immortal. As a blink forward, he blinks into a second Immortal here immediately, and this is really bad for Adonminus. He's got so many more units coming across the map, but they're just not here just quite yet. And Adonminus is making some very questionable decisions this game, and both players starting their Nexus back at home. Adonminus threw away a lot, though. And again, I mean, PrimeLot just kind of held enough of a lead throughout. Well, he defended well long enough to kind of equalize up this game and take advantage of his opponent's mistakes. No warpins back at home just yet for Adonminus, and this Oracle going to start working away on his opponent's mineral line, and Adonminus can take some worker damage, and he's going to fall behind in workers here in a few moments, or at least be evened up. Depends how much this Oracle commits. He's got quite a bit of energy left, and only one Stalker, as you see Stalkers blinking into the main base here. Adonminus is going to get trapped in the corner, though, and I mean, eventually PrimeLot will take down these units. He blinks on top, tries to get rid of the Immortal. So many Stalkers lost in the process, though. This Oracle gets 12 kills in total, so now Adonminus is behind on workers. He loses a lot of his army, and again, this has not gone his way at all. PrimeLot takes the game. He takes the series 2 games to nothing, and that was actually very, very impressive. I really thought he was dead then. I really don't think the opening went his way at all. I really felt Adonminus held well, but later on, I mean, look at the graph. I mean, you can really see it's a little bit of a throw from Adonminus. He's always a little bit ahead in this army value, And then it just kind of falls away a little bit, and, you know, this is kind of his first mistake, loses a lot of his advantage, and then it actually kind of goes okay. I think that's when he, like, split the